Coming up, the latest on a school bus crash that sent nearly 20 people to the hospital.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. At least 2 students and a bus driver were flown to hospitals after their bus crashed in Magoffin County. All 18 students on board were taken to hospitals to be treated for their injuries, which range from minor to critical. Tonight, we are told a large crowd gathered for a prayer vigil in Magoffin County, and people are being asked to wear maroon tomorrow in support of the students and driver. WYMT's Keaton Hall has the latest.
18 students and a bus driver were injured Monday morning when their bus crashed down a steep embankment in Magoffin County.
We had the all call that went out today, and surrounding counties answered that call, and they came to help our children, and I just can't thank them enough.
2 students and the bus driver needed to be airlifted from the scene.
What we used was rope and cribbings and Stokes baskets and pulled the students up the hills for the one up the hill, except the ones that could get up the hill by themselves. When I arrived on the scene, there was a few students already climbed up the hill on their own.
Neighbors in the area were seen providing blankets and coats to children waiting to be taken to the hospital. Chris Leemaster has lived in the area for 53 years and says he's seen accidents on this road before, but nothing like this.
The parents was tore up, just, like I would be. It's just a bad scene. They was just, you could just hear them, crying and stuff, and it just scared to death.
This comes after classes at Magoffin County High School were canceled last week, honoring a classmate who recently died in a UTV accident.
There's a lot to deal with, especially for young students, and that's why last week and this week we've made certain to provide additional supports. Our community's always been really good in trying times to step up and provide those supports.
Mental health professionals are available to students in Magoffin County this week, offering much needed support. Keaton Hall, WYMT Mountain News.
Troopers responded to the scene around 7:30 this morning. A student on board the bus was able to call 911. We are hearing from some of Kentucky's leaders following the bus crash today. In Frankfort, Lieutenant Governor Jacqueline Coleman shared her reaction.
You never want to be a parent of a student on that bus or a school leader or a classroom teacher and get that phone call. My thoughts and prayers are with that school district and all of those kids and parents that are dealing with, uncertainty today. That's a hard thing to have to deal with as a community.
In a tweet this morning, Governor Beshear also asked Kentuckians to pray for all those involved in today's crash. The bus crash has brought up safety concerns on school buses. Magoffin County school officials were asked about the concept of seat belts in the aftermath of the crash. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says school buses are designed to be safer than passenger vehicles, especially when it comes to preventing injuries. This includes protective seating and high crush standards. Chad Hedrick has been looking into the data.
Mangled in a wooded embankment, this bus crash in Magoffin County has posed the question about safety protocols and features on school buses.
Of course, as a parent, you love your children and you want to protect them.
More than a dozen children were injured in Monday's crash after the school bus they were in went over an embankment. Superintendent Chris Meadows says the district follows procedures and protocols to maintain safety.
Our drivers are trained, our buses are maintained.
Last school year, there were just over 1,000 school bus incidents in Kentucky. Nearly half were in the morning, and 360 of them were in rural areas. Data from the state shows 129 students were hurt in those crashes.
I think when it comes to student safety, everything's on the table. You always want to consider what you can and what you can do.
According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, buses are designed with a concept called compartmentalization. This protects students without them needing to be buckled in. Students are supposed to be protected by the closely spaced seats that absorb energy.
Accidents do happen. It's unfortunate when they do, but I would just say that I still feel hope and trust in our employees, and I would hope that the parents would too in the days to come.
That was Chad Hedrick reporting. The National Transportation Safety Board has been recommending states begin requiring lap and shoulder belts for all school bus passengers.
Well, chilly air continues to work into the region this evening, as do some clouds, and that's ahead of another system that looks to bring us the potential for showers as we head through the day on our Tuesday. Here's a look outside right now from downtown Whitesburg. One car on the road moving up Main Street at this hour. It's all quiet, and it is very chilly. Already seeing temperatures in the upper 20s in Clintwood, 30 in Jonesville, and we continue to see temperatures on the cold side in the 30s just about everywhere region-wide. At the moment, we're quiet, but look at all the showers breaking out across the deep south and eventually the snow across parts of the Mississippi Valley. Most of the snow will miss us. I can't rule out a stray flurry or sleet pellet in the morning, but for the most part, this is an all-rain system for us. So some wintry mix may be possible as this thing starts out, but we'll quickly transition to all rain in the morning hours. Low 30s tonight, so it is going to be a bit chilly. Details coming up on when the showers move out and when we could see a return to some sunshine in a few minutes. Steve?
All right, Evan, thank you. People across the region are mourning the loss of Somerset football coach Robbie Lucas. He led the Briar Jumpers to a state championship in 2019, and his friends told us he exemplified greatness, hard work, and being a servant leader. He played on several great football teams in Lincoln County, where he got his start on the gridiron.
That's where he got his start, right here at Lincoln County on this gridiron, and then went on to greatness that he had at Somerset, winning a state championship. That is a storybook ending for a high school football team to win the way they did back in 2019. He was just, again, just bragging on the kids. He didn't take any of the credit whatsoever. I waited till maybe later on that night or something to give him a call or a text, and he didn't want any credit. He just wanted to say, look, it's all about the kids. They did it, my coaching staff.
Officials of Somerset schools say he was an outstanding coach, an excellent teacher, and an even better person. Tonight, football teams across the state turned their stadium lights on in honor of the late coach. Right now, funeral arrangements have not been set. Middlesboro schools have brought in extra counseling to help after a house fire that killed 10-year-old Mark Smolik. The death was a shock to everyone in the community, and students along with administrators are mourning Smolik, who was a 5th grader at Middlesboro Middle School. Superintendent Waylon Allen says they have brought in all the help they could find to help people deal with their emotions.
We have counselors at the school. We have social workers. We have different help from different places in town.
The fire also left 5 others with non-life-threatening injuries. A cause for the fire has not yet been determined. Kentucky has the early lead in a 5-day blood drive through the Kentucky Blood Center. Kentucky may not have been able to beat Tennessee on the gridiron, but the Big Blue Nation can capture the victory against the Medic Regional Blood Center in Tennessee. This is the 35th year for the Big Blue Crush blood drive. Officials say they hope to fill the shelves with donations before the holidays. They say it's typically a time when there's a higher need for blood, but they say the friendly rivalry helps bring out a lot of donors.
Tennessee is a big rival of Kentucky fans, and so they really show up in big numbers for this. Whether you're talking to some of our loyal donors that come out regularly, they're here this week, or somebody that maybe only donates once a year, this is often a time they have circled on their calendar because they want to beat Tennessee.
Big Blue Crush donors will receive a football school shirt and be entered to win 4 tickets to the UK Louisville game on November 26th. The Big Blue Crush continues through Friday, and you can schedule an appointment at kybloodcenter.org. Tomorrow, the Kentucky Supreme Court will hear arguments in the fight to restore abortion access. The ACLU of Kentucky will argue their case on behalf of EMW Women's Surgical Center and Planned Parenthood. They are challenging 2 abortion bans that have been in effect for more than 3 months. Tomorrow's arguments come 1 week after Kentucky voted no on Amendment 2. That was the No Right to Abortion in the Constitution amendment. Coming up on Mountain News at 11, we'll hear from medical professionals on the increase of RSV in adults.
Plus, showers are on the way into the region. A look at how much rain we could see and how cold it gets behind the showers. That's ahead.